What's up, fellow entrepreneurs? It's PK Patel from Midwest Corporate Credit, where funding your business is our business. I'm here today with a special guest, Mr. John Mathews. He's got over $1 million in unsecured business credit portfolio that he's built up over the last 2 or 3 years. And today he's here to show us how to double your business credit card limits. Alright guys, before we get to the meat and potatoes of this video and the instructions, John, why don't you introduce yourself? Give us a little background about what you've been able to accomplish as far as business finance goes, how long you've been with us, and just general background on yourself.
Well, I've been here since July 2012, and since working in here, I've gotten very interested in business credit myself for my own side company. And since working here, using the resources I've learned, I've been able to establish a portfolio of $1 million plus in business credit, and I use that to grow my company.
Awesome. Now, tell us a little bit about this particular account that you got a credit limit increase on that we're going to walk our viewers through. Now, you got this 6 months ago, if I understand this correctly, right? And I set it up for you?
That's correct.
Okay.
You helped me set it up. The account was opened 6 months ago. It's my newest account. Started off with a $10,000 limit, and I used that account. It was 0% interest on purchases, so I used that account to finance some expenses on my company. But it's time for credit limit increase, and so
you haven't paid any interest on this thing for the last 6 months, right?
absolutely not. 0% on purchases.
Right. Awesome. So you were able to leverage it, get some working capital into your business, and you charge it up to what amount?
$8,000 so far is what the balance. Well, the balance was $8,000, and I just recently paid it off so I can do this credit limit increase.
All right. So between month 0 and month number 5, your balance was right around $8,000.
That's correct. Immediately after the car was approved, I had used the account to finance some inventory expenses on some products I was reselling for my customers. I've been making my regular monthly payments on the account, which is important for credit limit increases. If you want credit limit increases, you have to show the bank that you're a responsible borrower. And the only way you can show them that you're a responsible borrower is by making regular monthly payments. So over the last 6 months, I've made a payment every single month, and just prior to the credit limit increase, I brought the balance down to 0. And also, my personal credit report, equally as important, I made sure that my balances on my personal credit cards were also low before asking for the increase.
Got it. So about 30 days ago is when you started preparing for this thing, right?
That's correct. I brought the balance on the credit card I'm asking for the increase on to 0 30 days ago.
And you also made sure your personal credit cards were under 20% utilized, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. So now we're at month 5, month 5.5. You've paid down all your credit cards, including this business credit card, right? So we're going to then give the lender a call and request a credit limit increase. And lucky for our viewers, we actually have that call recorded, don't we?
Yep, we do.
All right, so let's go ahead and roll that call, guys.
Just a moment while I connect your call.
Thank you for calling Card Member Service. My name is Bill. May I start with your first and last name, please?
John Mathews.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mathews. Let's see. All right, your account just came up for me, and can you verify the last 4 of your Social Security number, please?
Oh,
Perfect. I see it's the Systems account today.
yep.
How can we help you?
This is for the card ending in 2, correct?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. I was calling to ask for a credit limit increase on the card.
Okay. Let's see. Yes, sir. We can definitely put in a request today for you. Just have to read a disclosure and let's see here. Okay, so for that disclosure, line increase request may require a credit bureau check, also known as a consumer report review, and could result in an inquiry to the credit bureau. Do you have any assets you would like us to know about? And assets can include money held in checking, savings, CDs, money market accounts, retirement accounts, or other investments.
Oh, sure. I mean, I've got my home. I've got I've got 5,000 in retirement accounts between IRA and 401k. I've got another 1,000 in regular brokerage accounts that aren't retirement, and then 1,000 in cash.
Okay, so about 1,000 total there. Okay, and do you want to add the gross annual sales amount for your company?
Oh, sure. Gross annual sales is 1,000.
Okay. And can you verify your mailing address for me?
Nine.
All right, thank you. Okay, so your request has been submitted for review. You're going to receive a notification of the decision within 7 to 10 days in the mail for you. If additional information is needed to process the request, it will be communicated at that time for you. Anything else on your account I can do for you?
That's all I got for you.
All right, thank you for banking with us. Enjoy the rest of your day there.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, guys, that's the call. Now, that was a pretty easy call, right, John?
Very easy call.
But they're not all that simple. This one happened to be particularly easy. If they're not that simple, and there's additional questions that the lender asks, what are some of the things that you've encountered in the past when you call up a lender for a credit limit increase, and how do you address them?
Well, I'll agree with you, PK. This was a really easy phone call. Historically, when I call this lender for credit limit increases, they'll ask me a few more things. Questions I've been asked in the past are stuff like, why do I want the credit limit increase? What do you plan on using the extra capital for? What's your business annual income? What's your personal annual income? And generally speaking, the most important question they'll ask is, what do you want your new limit to be? Me personally, when I call for credit limit increases, I'll always try to double my limits once every 6 months. And the rest of the questions, I'll just provide them with what my business annual income is, my personal annual income, and why I want the credit limit increase. It's always the same. It's because I'm trying to grow my business. I'm always looking to get a credit limit increase to finance expenses to grow my business.
Awesome. And it's good to go in with some kind of a written plan and have all of this information well thought out and written out, right? I mean, that's something that you would suggest, especially to a beginner. Otherwise, they could trip you up. I mean, these analysts are pretty clever sometimes, and they will trip you up. And if you're unsure about something, you will get declined. If you're not as confident, if you're probably, if you're as unsure, then the limit increase could be declined, or you might get a lower amount. In this case, John asked for a $20,000 increase, even though the analyst didn't ask. Those were the final results. Is John went from a $10,000 limit on this card to a $20,000 limit, and they asked what you're going to do with it. I mean, if they ask that, then you want to be able to provide a clever answer. So all of these are important questions. The 5 questions that John mentioned, you want to make sure you have them written down and you're able to spit that out smoothly and confidently. Am I right?
That's correct. I had a customer who wanted the credit limit increase. We walked him through the process. The reason why he wanted the credit limit increase was because, well, he's a property management company, and the justification for his increase was because he had some units that were in poor condition that he was managing for a client. He wanted to use the increased limit on his business card so that he can finance getting those units back into good condition, so that he can then get those units leased out, which would then enable him to earn his quarterly bonuses from his customer.
Wow. So, he was pretty confident. He had an exact game plan on how he's going to go in and how he's going to get a return on this money. And did he get his credit limit increase?
Absolutely.
Okay.
From $10,000 to $30,000.
Wow, tripled it. So our clients are even doing better than us. So, it's relatively simple if you guys just follow some of these rules that we're giving you here. And now, let's say Next question I have is, what's going to happen in the future with this particular account that you just got a credit limit increase for? We talked about the past. We talked about laying the foundation, how to set it up, months 0 to 6, month number 6, how to go ahead and increase that limit. And then now you got the increase. What are your plans with this $20,000, and what are you going to do in the future?
Well, the reason I asked for the credit limit increase on this account was because I just recently received balance transfer checks. The balance transfer checks give me the opportunity to take cash off the card, and for these checks, the terms are 0% interest for 18 months. So I'm going to write myself a check for $15,000, put it into my business bank account.
If you follow these steps, you can grow a massive business credit portfolio just like John has. And I mean, the $1 million sounds super intimidating, but when you break it down to per unit, like we're breaking it down here, the compound effect of time and having multiple accounts is how you built your over $1 million business credit portfolio, right?
You got it.
So you religiously follow these steps and request a credit limit increase on all your accounts every 6 to 12 months. And you've been doing that for the last 3-4 years.
As long as accounts are responsibly managed, you'll be rewarded handsomely by the lenders.
Awesome. So first thing you do is set your accounts on auto pay, right?
Always put accounts on auto pay, because as long as you're making payments every month, you're building payment history. If you're not making payments every month on your cards, you're not making payment history. So even if you get new accounts established, if you don't use those accounts for 6 months and then you try for an increase, well, unfortunately, there's no payment history there at all. So I have all my accounts on auto pay, and I make sure that I use all my accounts at least once a month.
Now, you've had clients that have gotten declined for credit limit increases for lack of usage. I mean, they keep a zero balance on it, but then when they go to get an increase, the lender says, well, oh, you're not even using the $10,000 we gave you. Why should we give you the $20,000? And that's one of the toughest questions to answer when a lender throws that back in your face.
That's correct.
Right? So use your cards, pay them off, and then request a credit limit increase. It's that simple. And then what we do is we'll set up the base accounts for you that don't report to your personal credit, and you build a separate business credit portfolio. Now, how much of this $1 million reports to your personal credit, John?
0. None of these accounts report to my personal credit profile. So if I was to have a busy month and charge up $700,000, which I've done in the past, none of that would appear on my personal credit report. My personal credit report is always 20% utilization or less, with less than $20,000 in credit card debt.
And you get to maintain your excellent credit status on the personal side. I mean, all of these accounts are personally guaranteed. They just don't report. So, and since John uses them responsibly, he's able to build it up over time. And that's the key, is responsible usage. Show the lender that they're not going to lose money and they're going to get a return on their investment. And if you're clever about it, heck, they may not even get a return on their investment, right? I mean, you've paid, how much interest have you actually paid?
I don't pay interest on credit cards. I'll pay balance transfer fees on my credit cards, but I won't pay interest. I always carry balances, but I never pay interest.
So that's all it is, guys. It's just those basic disciplines. If you're able to handle them, and if you're able to do this, you could also build up $1 million portfolio. But the first step in getting started is to go to applymidwest.com and click on the green button in the upper right hand corner. What we'll do is we'll give you a free consultation, and then we'll set you up with accounts that are only going to report to your business credit profile and that are known to be generous in the future. If you enjoyed this video, guys, give us a like, go to applymidwest.com and share it with a friend. Don't keep this to yourself. Don't be stingy. All right. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll have more content coming up like this, and you will get an alert every time we post a video like this. So make sure you subscribe. For John Mathews, Midwest Corporate Credit, I'm PK Patel. Thank you for watching.